underbelly of the sky above me. I got this sharp piece of science, and I can see the soft underbelly of the sky above me. I got this sharp piece of science, this sharp piece of science. Fire into rain, running down the back of my neck. Could we be invisible today? Laughing, this is what you say I do. You know the strange television you watch, the one that you never plug in. Lady with the locust tongue, fire, I'm sleeping at the black moon. You know what's the one that you never plug in. I got this sharp piece of science, and I can see it. It's soft underbelly of the sky above. I got this sharp piece of science, and I can see it. The soft underbelly of the sky above me. Small gods in your peripheral vision. Please come to this risen from these small gods in your peripheral vision. My love walks with them. Please come to that risen and we're walking away with the shadow. And we were falling like stars from the eyes of the night. Walking away with the shadow. And we were falling like stars from the eyes of the night. to gaze upon the graves beyond the window. Yes, it was mesmerizing. Yeah, like a wound or a stone.
Alright.
It's out of character.
Oh, good on real glad we missed the murder of Harold.
What?
Look, I'm just saying, if Harold dies, we would have to pay him, and then if we still want another companion, we can go and hire.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
You're all
right.
terrible.
Baldric, that is a bad attitude for an aspiring leader.
That was out of character. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, real quick. Who recapped? It was Morgan that recapped it last time.
Yep.
Alright, let's have Taliesin and recap this session.
Oh,
one of you
God.
or one of you guys. That isn't Morgan. Who wants to?
I want to get the next one, actually.
Okay. Khalgrast gets the next one, then let's have Taliesin do it then. We try to do it in the character of from your view.
I'm trying to remember what happened last session.
Wait, really?
Started at the Elven
Yeah.
Village we had just saved, and then we
So-
went.
I mean, that was after that, though. Wasn't that the session before that we fought in the town?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
the session before we fought in the town. So the last session, we went through the forest to the place, the place where the druid was. We got through the caves and found the druid. So, and then we got out of the caves when it started to crumble.
And we fought werewolves again.
And werebears. And more orcs. And constructs.
It just keeps going. It just keeps going.
And shadow things.
Love it.
Also, I knocked this guy out.
Anyways. So, the party awakens to the sound of rumbling. Dust trickles from the ceiling as each of the party members comes to consciousness. Almost in complete darkness, the only light sources the party has is the soft glow of Sasha. Wait, where is it? The soft glow of Sasha, as well as a peculiar light source from a stone shield over here. Wesley, a bit under some rocks, is completely knocked out. In the last second, he had pushed Khalgrast out of the way of some falling rocks. Unfortunately for Wesley, he is unconscious right now, but he does not look too great. Harold had pushed Taliesin out of the way as two large rocks have collapsed next to him. You notice he is passed out right now, barely clinging, with his foot still under the rock.
Can I heal both of them?
You can heal both of them. Since... All right, well, you're able to heal Harold and Wesley just enough to stabilize them. Though Harold's foot is still under the rocks and Wesley's still knocked out and unconscious right now. Although some of their wounds have closed.
I'm sure Khalgrast could take care of one of those rocks.
Take care of the rocks.
I look at these rocks. Are they? Can I tell if they're? I'm a dwarf. Are they load bearing?
You can lift them, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
All right, so
Or punch it.
or punch it.
I'm not gonna cause seismic activity in this place.
You just want to lift it, right?
Yeah, just easy lift, like
Okay, you're just gonna like move it over to the side off of Harold's foot.
careful lift. Yeah.
So if they're healed, then there shouldn't be that X over Wesley,
Should
right?
have an X on him, right?
Like Wesley's
alright,
supposed to be my bro.
Okay, Wesley's still unconscious though, but he's taking a nap.
Sleepy
Think of,
boy.
think of
Alright,
Wesley
so-
Baldric.
Also, because of all the rumblings, the man is no longer hold persons, but he's knocked out. Like there's like a bunch of rocks in him too.
Adventure gear. I'm gonna tie him up with rope.
All right, so take a use out of your adventuring gear,
Please find that man.
and
Yes,
you
thank
have
you.
bound him as tight as you humanly can. Let me just put all the snare, all the snare things. This is just-
No, I'm saying Morgan's not a human.
Exactly.
I also
Morgan's
gag.
an elf.
I
yeah.
also gag him.
Yo. All right.
No, he has a point.
Yeah,
It's
only
true.
Cast spells.
As well as a elf can tie a person up. So you
Yeah,
can't cast spells. Yeah, that's very smart. So you open up his mouth and you notice something. There's black blood kind of dripping out where it normally would be red, and it's human, but his teeth has been sawn to look like an orc's teeth, like very
Gross.
pointed and jagged edges. As his tongue kind of sticks out, drooling a little bit, and you just kind of gag him with a piece of cloth.
Wait, so his teeth are human?
His teeth are human, but they've been sawn to be jagged.
So then is he a human?
It looks like the orcs are taking recruits.
He is definitely human. Upon further investigation, he's still knocked out and gagged, but he has human hair, human bodies. The only thing that seems inhuman about him is that there seems to be a whole bunch of orcish runes that are written across his neck and that go underneath his body. You're more than welcome to strip him if you want, but he's knocked out cold right now. His eyes, when you open them.
I'm gonna do that and
Oh,
copy down these runes.
All right, so you kind of you pat him down, and aside from the weapons that he's carrying, he doesn't seem to have any orders or anything else on his body.
I mean, that's from the disarm. I take everything that could be anything.
Okay, so you find.
Disarm that shit.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, like anything on him. Like, I want to at least look at it and examine what he's got.
All right, so
If it's mundane, we're gonna leave it behind probably. Because I don't know they have it.
So for the most part, the only thing that seems magical is his right gauntlet that is still seeping with a bit of energy. You notice the floor underneath you, the black smoke that originally had been there had subsided for the most part. The rest seem to be just fumes of shadows kind of rolling across the ground. You take the gauntlet and you take it off. There are a lot of signs of orc runes that spell out Shagara and all the such, because Taliesin can read Orcish now from his study.
You're turning robot-y.
Beep boop spaghetti.
That's me. You're fine.
Oh, am I fine?
It's fine.
I'll fix
Yeah,
it in a
yeah,
second
right.
for everyone, but yeah, you're fine for me.
Server.
All right. Well,
Anyway, I throw the gauntlet in a pack. Who
Alright,
wants to
so-
actually carry this?
yeah. So whoever carries it, just put in your inventory Orcish gauntlet. It's weight 1.
I'll carry it then.
So it's 1 weight.
Can I use arcane art to remove any of the enchantments?
You could remove. Well, it says a person from enchantment. I'm not sure if you can remove magic out of an item. That's not.
That doesn't.
Oh, well, it says you got, like, runes and stuff all over them.
Gloves ain't got
Yes.
ears, so bards can't sing to them.
Well, you're more than welcome to try. You can try and sing a song and see if you're able to. All right. Well, you notice that some of the runes that had been active still kind of seep away and fade, but for the most part, the runes still stay in his body. And he lays there, still unconscious. And here, is everyone all right? From a soft, gentle voice from the other side. In part of her quick thinking, Alma had transformed into a giant whale again to shelter some of the damage from the party.
I cast light.
Go ahead. I thought you forgot it from the last time. So.
No, not light.
Okay.
I forgot, like, I
Yeah,
have
you just cast light. You don't have to roll it.
Wasn't
You
it
don't have
I
to
that
roll
forgot light?
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot light.
Yeah. Okay, so you cast light, and there's a lot more light in the room now. Alma, who kind of transforms back into her human self, kind of shrugs off the rocks, and there's a couple more rumblings as she approaches the party and says, "I'm sorry for my outburst earlier. Sometimes I don't know what to fucking say."
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm just glad we're not dead.
Aye, but we do have the problem of being stuck here.
I'll look around the room, specifically over here.
So you come closer and you notice a bunch of the statues there. And hold on, to remind you, going from left to right, there's Alvo Starbite. You recognize him. He has a sword and a shield, and you notice that the shield that he's wearing, the stone that has been covering what appears to be something else underneath it. The shimmer is slightly bright. Another light source now, aside from the light from your gauntlets, which I assume that's what you cast the light on.
Yes.
Right. Next to Alvo is a priestess, and followed by an elven priestess, followed by a dwarf hunter, a human sorcerer, and a human speaker who is partially crushed by the rock that you see over here. But you do notice, by some miracle of force, these statues, the way that they're protruding from the wall, had kept some of the rocks from falling onto the party. That's why you guys aren't fully crushed.
I'll examine that shiny bit by the Olivo statue.
Alright, so you walk over to Alvo, and you kind of like jimmy the statue a little bit, and especially the shield, and kind of pops off. And you remove some of the rocks aside, and you see this kind of pristine shield. It kind of glimmers ever so slightly. That and
I take the shield.
like you can add magical shield into your inventory. Alright, it's one way. So anyways, aside from that, what does the party do?
So are we completely covered by rock?
You remember the exit is to the south over here that you came in, and the way forward seems to be covered by rock. But for the most part, you are right at the exit. It's just a bit caved in right now.
I wonder.
Khalgrast, I don't suppose you could punch through the rock?
Well, let me see if it would kill us. Hold on. I examine the stones towards the exit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just to see what.
It's down here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I just see what all has load on it right now. See if I can actually climb up, get over it, get a bearing on where I'm at. And...
Okay, are you using words of stone? Kind of thing that one dwarven. Actually, no, because you're a dwarf, you would know this anyways. So you're gonna check its load. For the most part, it does seem secure. You could punch your way out of it without too much structural integrity, because you're a bit of an incline right now. And you're right at the exit. There's just a little bit of effort you can claw your way out.
Okay, I'll start carefully digging out, and I'll do
Okay.
the bars lift gates.
So you start to actually do that, and your hands touch, and then you hear something, a picking on the other side.
Oh. Wait a minute.
Maybe we should prepare.
Hey, Alex.
Yes,
How shiny is that shield surface?
very shiny.
Very shiny?
There's a luster on it that seems to protect it almost.
I
Like a
cast
thin
vision
veil.
through time.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
Not the front part, but the back part. Yeah, you can totally you
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
yourself on the back part. Yeah, sure. So Khalgrast, you toss over the shield to Taliesin. Taliesin, go ahead, cast Vision through time. You'll actually have to roll this time.
Here into the shield.
All right. So what are you looking
Hey.
for?
And you know, I want to forget the spell to
To maximize it?
I guess that's technically there's no like narrative. It would be entirely a narrative effect, but I'm willing to forget this if you're going to give me something real good.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. You know what? I think that's also a fair thing to do, because kind of drawing unwanted attention to yourself all the time, when especially you're not
It
in
doesn't
combat,
work
seems very
here.
gamey.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
here.
so it doesn't work. Yeah, so go ahead and add that. By the way, did you get my message about the thing that I sent you earlier?
Oh, I didn't get the chance to read it because I like ran off to eat.
You
right
can go ahead and
away.
read through that when you have a chance.
I'll
But
do
just
that,
let me know what
yeah,
you think
while
of
we're
it.
doing
For
that,
now,
yeah.
that'll be what it is mechanically, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so you take a look, and you see on the other side are three figures. Three dwarves, kind of picking through. They look weathered, they look battered and bruised, and injured, and two of them seem to be picking, working hard. They're not carrying any weapons right now. Two others seem to be a little bit close to the back, and one female you can pick out very clearly is kind of kneeling. You're looking through her eyes right now, as you hear heavy breathing, and she's holding a crossbow, looking into the wilderness, and she turns and sees her friends, two dwarves pickaxing against this rubble, and two others. One is tied up. One dwarf is tied up, and another is just keeping watch of that one dwarf. That's what you see, Taliesin, very clearly.
And I'm
catch that?
currently hearing the sound of someone picking outside.
Yes, and you see the picking outside, and like it's matching to the vision that you're having right now. Just hearing this constant.
Were there any other dwarves in the village?
This is
That
the
we
first
saw?
time you've actually come across dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may not be good.
Well, no, I mean, all I'm gonna say for now is, Khalgrast, you asked me to warn you if we were going to come across any dwarves, right?
Yeah. Why?
Well, there are four, right, Alex? 4 of them?
5.
5 of them. Right.
1 tied up.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I say. 4. Oh, sorry, 5. One of them is bound. 5 on the other side of these rocks.
What do they look like?
Give me some defining features here, Alex.
From what I can tell you, because you did maximize the spell and you forgot it, they look like soldiers almost. All of them on. You notice clearly one of them who doesn't have armor on her left shoulder, a very large spear, inked in black, is shown proudly on her left shoulder as she's kind of heaving and panting. You don't hear it, but like it's you can feel it. You can see it. Like she's not looking too great right now. On through that, and they don't really seem at any sort of like killing intent. They're trying to pick you guys out right now.
Crap. Iron spears.
Do you have any idea what that means?
I'm guessing these guys aren't your friends then.
Well, they were. But they think I'm dead.
Guess it'll be quite a shock when they get through the rubble, huh?
Quite a shock if they discover Voss.
Are these guys likely to recognize you? I mean...
Honestly, I couldn't say. It's not like I was anybody that important, but... I was part of some bigger conspiracy, so you never know.
Should we
Would you like a cloak or something?
disguise you?
It's an interesting sound that pick is making on the stone there.
I'm sorry, I got nothing better.
I got you.
Perfect.
Clink, yeah.
Clink
Like,
your glass, yeah.
I don't know if that's always picking up on Discord, but I know if I'm talking and I do it...
Taliesin, can you make me invisible again?
Oh, easily.
very easily.
I'm gonna double.
Khalgrast, step
I'm
over to
actually gonna double
Taliesin.
that for free. Does anyone else want to be invisible? I'm just gonna offer it up. I got invisibility in the right hand here for free if anyone wants.
So you
it.
hit like your left hand has a ball in your right hand.
Yeah.
Morgan raises her hand.
I kind of snap my fingers and flick it over at you.
All right, so hold on. What should I use for? Oh wait, the ninja. So both of you are in incognito mode at 4 o'clock in the morning. So you're gonna just put a position where you guys want to be.
Okay, I'm gonna be behind this rock right here.
G-E.
Boom.
All right. So soon enough, a few minutes pass, and the sounds of pickaxe clearly break through the rock, followed by crumbles of rock being pulled out. And 1 second, let me just bring these two to the token layer. One stumbles through, and there says, "Oh, thank God, you guys are still alive."
Oh, thank God you're here to rescue us, right?
Yes.
How do you even know that we're here?
Actually, no. We were actually going to try and take refuge inside of this place, but then it caved in.
Oh.
Why were you trying to take refuge?
Well, you notice as they pull some away, the gentleman on the left doesn't talk much. You notice a giant warhammer being placed close to the exit, and he's just like taking his hands and moving and shoveling. And the one before here says, "Well, it's a bit of a long story, but you guys don't look like orcs. At least I don't think so."
I kind of look behind me to the guy lying behind us there and just kind of.
He's tied up and gagged right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it just
So
kind
he
of.
doesn't-
But I don't say anything.
He doesn't see him because Morgan and Harold are kind of staying in the way over here. And I assume Wesley's just like pulled off in the center and being like taken care
Morgan
of.
isn't standing. Morgan isn't blocking anyone's vision. What are you talking about?
I'm invisible.
Oh, you're right, invisible. Harold is blocking the vision. My bad.
Or
Morgan, are
Maybe
you
because
like
it's
squeezed
like
up in
we
there,
need-
like right in front of? There you are.
Just gonna squeeze over to
Yeah,
the side
okay,
if he
alright.
needs to go.
Alright.
I'm gonna take a peek out the hole there. Actually, can I see the sky from
You
here?
take a peek out and you notice the vision of that one huntress, that one ranger you were looking through. She's up at the top. She's knelt over. She's looking outward into the forest. You can't see the other two. They seem to be somewhere off to the side. But you hear, Mugar, we gotta move quickly. And the man who steps forward again, he says, "Yes, you might not know me, but you might know my heritage. My name is Muga Runecloak. I'm a vanguard. I
Any of that
am a
mean
part of
anything?
the Iron Mountains Iron Spear. We are the Grey Axe Squad." He says, and Khalgrast, you hear this, and you would immediately know. Grey Axe is a ranger squad, not a defense squad, so they wouldn't actually know you. At least you wouldn't think so. Because remember, you said in your backstory you were just a patrolman. You would patrol the mountains. These guys would be the ones that would go out.
Yeah, so I would never. The only time I went out was the time that the shit hit the fan.
Exactly. So specifically, these people would not have directly worked with you. You may have seen them in passing through the barracks sometimes, but it's not sure.
Not likely that they'd recognize me. Yeah,
Not likely, no.
Not
So-
likely that Alex is walking you into a trap.
You still never know.
You guys look a bit exhausted. Could I heal you up real quick?
Is one of you a healer? We honestly could use that right now.
I nod.
All right, so oh wow. So what happens is you kind of walk up to who do you want to heal first? The one on the left or the one on the right?
The one on the left. He's the one who put the axe down, right?
He's the one who put the warhammer down, yeah, and just kind of like digging it out. And you put your hands on his plate, and you kind of play a tune, and it seeps. He gruffs and he nods, and Mugar says he doesn't talk much. He's the cleric. He used the last of his spells to try and protect us. We were 2 squads. One of them almost wiped out. I didn't realize orcs were in this overforce, but you guys know about this.
We've been running into a little bit of trouble with them recently. As I kind of look towards the back.
They've been harassing the humans and elves living in this area.
All right, well, I guess you're friends there. You're friends then. All right, well, I'll get the rest of my men. And he kind of leaves off. And 1 second, I gotta bring them over. Do 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 do. 1 second.
Could I try to heal them all?
You can try to heal them all. You only need 1 roll for this. Oh,
Well, that's
Oh.
a fail, isn't it?
that is indeed a fail, so you don't heal anyone. All right. So you're a little bit exhausted, and you kind of like lean, but it's been a very long night, running for your life and all that stuff. So all of them come
Oh,
in.
wait. Can I assist by
Yes,
having
you can,
birds?
but you're invisible right now.
I can
But
assist.
The
though.
bird isn't.
Taliesin can assist. Yeah,
I
sure.
absolutely can.
The bird isn't.
No, geez, you're right. The bird. I forgot to get the image for the bird.
Hey, yeah, wait a minute. Where's the big fucking bird?
I would
Go
think
menace
that
bird. Completely forgot
any
about it.
like personal spell that affects like Morgan, does that also affect the bird? Is that how familiars work?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
the
have
bird
no
can
idea.
assist really.
Like Iridan's kind of too.
Yeah, Iridan's like you're just off to the side. Right, Taliesin, you're both able to help. And by the way, the one thing I haven't really done, that I should be doing more is 7 to 9. You still help them, but you put yourself into risk. So I've been really lax on that rule, which I double checked.
Kind of
So-
have noticed that, yeah.
So I need
Yeah,
to remember that.
Yeah,
I
like
completely
even
forgot.
when non-threatened, like a 7 to 9, something still should happen.
Yeah. So Taliesin, I'm gonna say that you have to use one of your adventuring gear because like you still have some supplies left over,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
you really need to use them to help.
I broke a
Right.
string.
Yeah, you broke a string, but you're fine. So you don't fail anymore, Baldric. You get unmarked that experience. And Khalgrast is just kind of off. And Morgan, do you still want to help, or do you want to rescind that since I didn't tell you about putting yourself at risk until now?
We don't need both to
But
help,
it's the
so-
bird that's helping.
You don't need it. The point is you don't need it. It doesn't affect anything.
it
so you
doesn't
probably
need it.
shouldn't narratively
Alright.
do it.
Nah, I'm good.
So Khalgrast and Morgan, and they come in, and you notice this one over here. Let me mark him. Is changed, manacled, and also gagged, but like he doesn't seem to be in any way against this. Another man who seems to be wearing slightly different armor, a little bit brighter and more polished, although weathered. Brings him in, followed by a stout red-headed dwarf who still has a crossbow, and she's very wary of everyone right now. Leans over and whispers into Mugar's ear, and Mugar just kind of nods. We'll rest here for a bit. Do you know a place where it's actually going to be safe?
Unfortunately, no. There was an elven village nearby that just recently got assaulted by orcs.
Is it safe now at least?
We
Yeah,
drove
no,
them
that should be
off,
safe.
yes.
Alright, well, we've always had a bit of a, well, cordial relationship with the elves. I'm sure if we help protect, we can stay there for a little bit to recover.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest, if you show up with us, you're fine.
Alright, well, I'll take your word for it. And, they kind of like head over here and like lick and tend to their wounds for a little bit. And Alma just kind of moves over. They see like a little girl, but they kind of don't really pay attention too much over there. She's kind of like sitting on the ground, just petting her kitty. Just kind of looking at you all. Wesley's still knocked out and unconscious. And then they take a look at this gentleman over here. And one cleric who hasn't spoken much walks up and asks the party, "May I?"
What do you plan on doing?
He takes his hand out and kind of glows a little bit, and says, "Any information would help. See if I can get."
I nod. Go ahead.
So he just kind of walks over to the body, and his hand glows, and just kind of sticks it over the body while the man is still knocked out.
Oh,
And you notice like he's just, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the hand just kind of wraps over and just looks like he's like understanding a language or something. It's kind of hard to tell. But after a while, and says, "Ah, humans. No offense." And he kind of looks over to Baldric. And he kind of goes back and tends to his wounds.
Hey, what kind of magic was that? Spout lore.
Go ahead.
Boop.
Right.
Was
You've
that
heard of
Zone
these
Truth?
before. You've seen it. They're not exactly, well, they're clerics, but they're a different type of cleric. You would know these as dwarven purifiers. They specifically work in the Iron Mountains to root out pretty much any source of evil. So the magic that he just used was, in a way, a sensing something.
Oh, these guys
Kinda like-
psionics or something?
Wouldn't say that. It's still magical, not really psionic, but purifiers are a little bit more of a, what's the word? Aggressive style of cleric. If you want an actual,
Aggressive divinations.
yes, aggressive
Like
divinations.
peering stuff, scrying, like aggressive
Oh,
scrying.
hunters.
that.
Okay.
Yes. You would now actually kind of know this and kind of take a look. And dwarves are very isolationist. They specifically stick to the Iron Mountains because they are constantly trying to protect from demonic incursions from the south. So they don't want to deal with anything on the north because they're so focused on the southern front. And every single dwarf, I guess, squad will have a ranger, a vanguard, and a purifier. And the gentleman that you just saw was the purifier.
Strange
Right.
enough, we're seeing 5 dwarves, which is kind of odd.
It is. It is pretty odd. But you notice that the Mugar and Mugar Runecloak would introduce himself. Satine Runecloak, they are siblings. The red-headed ranger, as well as Vizair, Iron Male, who is the cleric, or not the cleric, the purifier of the party. They're in no squad. But this gentleman over here isn't. He's wearing different armor. He introduced himself as Brom, that's the name, you can just call me Brom. And the other one who's bound and manacled can't really say anything. He's just sitting there, scanning and looking. And for a second, his eyes stop over to where you're standing, Khalgrast. Blinks a second, and then continues looking.
I go over towards the cleric and I just tell him,
Oh yeah, we introduce ourselves, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also introduce yourselves.
but
You
I
know,
ask
I don't-
him, what did you find out about him? We've been having issues in the north with orcs, and any information that you could get out of him about what's going on would be very appreciated.
Viser turns and looks over to Mugar, and Mugar says, "Tell them." And Viser, he speaks up. "I can't know too much about his history, but I know his blood has been infused with orc blood. There's something demonic about it, which is why I was able to pick it out. Do you know of any orc gods?"
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes.
Hush. You do
yes.
not. You do not, Morgan. Hush.
All right. Invisible.
Invisible.
I really want that to be in character, but it would blow a lot of bullshit right now.
Yeah.
We'll just pretend that you almost say something and you're like, right, I'm invisible. Shit.
Invisible.
We do know of one orc god in particular who's been causing a bit of havoc.
I actually was only aware of one, but I suppose that doesn't really... That's not too surprising that there's multiple.
And then just orc god Shigara is what he was referring to.
Yeah, Shigara.
They don't know it.
Yeah, we
Shigara.
know about
They don't
Shigara.
know that. He says, "Sure, I didn't realize the orc had a god." And Satine goes, "Aye, because most of the time you go back home, you just stick in the tavern." And Viserys, sorry,
You should. Okay. I stopped them there. Okay, listen. I kind of was under the assumption that you knew something about what was going on here, since, I mean, no offense, but you guys are a little far north.
"Hi, we are a little far north." Mugar kind of steps up and he says, "We were tasked to apprehend him." And he points toward the one dwarf who's bound right now. His name is Volso. He's a traitor. And there's a bit of downward tone to him, like when he looks at him and he wants to spit, but he doesn't. He's kind of being respectful right now to you guys. He says, "We have sensed, at least Viser has sensed, a lot of demonic energy from the north, and I'm sure Home has sensed it too. But dwarves focus on the south." And Voso, the one bound orc, he kind of rummages a little bit and just throws up his hands like as if he wants to say something. And Bromdet says, "Oh, shut up, ye!" and kind of kicks him in the shoulder, causes Voso to cough a little bit, and just stop moving. They'll have to excuse him, traitors. They do things that don't take his word for it. And kind of steps over and yanks Voso over to the exit a little bit and kneels over. So that's what happens. And Vizier continues saying, "Aside from that, I don't know much." What does the party do?
Thank you.
I would really recommend that once we get to what's the name of the village again?
Silverleaf.
Once we get to Silverleaf, you should hunker down, keep your head down for a little bit. I wouldn't want to transport a prisoner in this weather. I kind of look out toward the exit.
Yeah, and says, "Aye, we tried doing that the first time," Mugar says. "As you can see, one of our squads were completely outnumbered by the werewolves. We barely got out alive." And Satine just kind of grimaces a little bit and just cleaning her bolts, still very tense. And Viser speaks up and says, "Is that the rest of you? I hope you guys didn't lose anything in the collapse. It looks pretty nasty."
No, we've got a couple of party members waiting for us back at Silverleaf.
And all right, well, after we rest up, I suggest we go back.
I just nod.
Okay. All right. So with that, both parties kind of group up, and retracing your steps, Morgan would remember the safest way back, the clean way back after you guys had cleaned out the forest of the werewolves.
But Morgan's invisible.
It's true. I mean, Morgan would know, but how she communicates to the rest of the party is up to her.
Follow the griffin.
Follow
that
the
works.
griffin.
I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, that would be like.
Actually, a good idea.
I can
Griffin.
just imagine us. We step out of the cave, and the dwarves are like, "All right, which way to Silverleaf?" And we're just, fuck it, I'm blanking on his name. What's the bird's name?
Iridan.
Iridan, and Iridan just like flies overhead and just follow the griffin.
Oh,
Is this
guys.
where in the hell did you find a griffin to listen to you?
Yeah, he found us.
Majestic creatures, majestic.
Hey, who's gonna
Yeah,
haul
so
other guys
majestic.
back? Because if I start picking up people and they're just floating, it's gonna be really weird.
Put them on the griffin.
Actually, that's not a bad
I mean,
idea.
if
Let's-
Iridan's gonna fly down, then yeah. I mean, I don't. Do you have a way to communicate with him, like other than just talking?
Pretty sure I can give him some taps, and
He's also like
he'll
a-
understand.
Is he like magical at all? Oh, yeah, of course he is. He turned into a fucking griffin. He can probably still like see you, and you can you have like non-verbal ways of communicating with him. I'm sure.
He just drank magic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's magical.
I'm like,
I need,
wait,
like, 2
wait a
minutes to
minute.
check
That's a really
something.
stupid
I'll
question.
be back in 2 minutes. Sorry, guys.
You go ahead. We'll work out the logistics of this. I'm sure. But yeah, we'll probably just load them up on Iridan then, and maybe send, I don't know, Baldric or Amma, maybe have her ride with them.
Yeah, we've got some friends waiting out. Like, where'd you get that griffin? Well, the griffin's on loan.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, so...
Yeah, we're gonna load Amma and the prisoner up on Iridan.
Oh, Amma can walk herself.
I mean, yeah, but somebody needs to ride with the griffin to like
Oh, okay.
maybe stop the guy
Alright,
from falling
so,
off, and also just it might as well be her.
Alright, so what ends up happening is Amma turns into a seal and rides on the griffin and just sits on this body to keep him from moving.
Okay.
And the kitty is just kind of like riding on top of the griffin's head. And they actually end up having a conversation. Morgan hears this, and Iridan kind of talks to the cat and says, "Oh, you're not too bad." And the cat goes, "Oh, thank you. Someone who finally understands me. I had to sit with this girl for months." And like they kind of like rant back and forth about their stories. And Iridan is speaking very loudly about, "Oh yes, Morgan is also incredibly rude. She found horses, and now she has horses and feeds the apples to her." And like they go back and forth with this banter. Iridan fully knows that you can understand this, Morgan.
I am going to pluck one of his feathers as he says this.
You pluck the feathers. Ow!
Listen here, you little shit.
And so the dwarves really pay no minds. They said that they'll watch the flanks and the rear as the party leads their way back to Silverleaf. And you guys, man,
I flank them and watch them.
you're watching them actually.
I'm gonna watch them.
And
Yeah, what's
You
those
notice-
footsteps in the water?
I mean, Khalgrast is smart enough to kind of like.
That's kind of the point of walking behind them.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a fair point. Hey Khalgrast. You're trying real hard to like step into things that don't make a sound and all that stuff, because remember they have a ranger amongst them, a trained
True.
ranger amongst them. So, I think you might need to do some defy danger here, my dude.
Alright, well that would obviously be a dex.
That would be a dex.
I get to aid
dexterity.
him since he's invisible from my invisibility, right?
Yeah, I want to help him by playing like loud music. You know, as we're traveling, I'd play a little
Shit.
tune to help.
All right, so
right?
both of you roll your bond, please.
I think now.
Can Morgan help because Iridan is squawking really loudly?
Obviously.
You
Yes.
did establish
Wow,
this,
shit,
actually.
that's a 9. Okay, and what else? Keep rolling your bonds, guys.
Beep.
Wow,
There we go.
I
you
done
guys
did it.
really want to help. All right, so all of you end up, what's it called? Squawking, tambourining, and speaking. And Taliesin, you strike up a conversation.
No. I'm start playing a little song, and maybe Taliesin decides to start singing for once.
No, I strike up a conversation with the dwarves. 'cause
Damn it.
Taliesin strikes up a conversation with Visair, and you
Damn it,
exchange
I tried.
more of the arcane as you head back in a harsh
Oh,
tone.
yeah,
And
I want
thankfully,
to learn all about this dwarven spellcasting stuff.
yeah, purifiers. I'll write you a little spiel about that later. You hear at the back there Khalgrast stepping on a twig and a rock, but because of everything else happening, the ranger wasn't able to pick it up. So Khalgrast is trying really hard to be light-footed right now, and because of the earlier training from Morgan on the way down, Morgan had taught Khalgrast, despite his stumpy feet, to move stealthily through a forest.
Stumpy feet and short gait, man. I can't step over stuff very well.
Yes, but you learned. Morgan's taught you.
Remember the basics of CQC.
And eventually,
God damn it.
after a very long, intense travel, make your way back. And you notice at the very, you're not specifically there. Hold on, let me just drag you out to the south over here,
Yee.
as well as the one of the elves says, "Halt! Who goes there?"
I just kind of wave, like, walking behind the griffin, like, I kind of gesture plaintively. I don't know, like...
Yeah, they say, "Oh, open the gate! Open the gate!" And they open the gate, and you're kind of let through. So I got to transfer Alma and the kitty over, who has now introduced himself as Roscoe.
Oh, we found some guests in your forest.
Yeah, this is out goes 5. Wesley's like kind of like knocked out in the griffin right now,
Yeah.
and one of the elves says, "Get him to the apothecary tent," and he's in the apothecary tent.
Don't forget the guy that we had captured.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, that guy
What are you
probably
gonna do
needs
with
to be
the guy?
tended to, too. I mean, we don't want him to die under our care here.
Oh, he's alive.
And he's pretty
He's
banged
definitely
up.
alive.
Yeah.
He's just knocked out right now. So
I think that's the first person I knocked out. And then just
Yeah.
brutally destroy.
I just love how like I put all the status elements of grappled right now on him. All right. So
You were very restrained for once.
yeah, and the elves and Mugar steps forward. "My name is Sergeant Mugar. I am from the Iron Spear." And the elf says, "Identification, please." And Mugar takes out a scroll that, albeit a bit bloodied and ripped, shows a seal, as well as a pendant on it. And Khalgrast, you recognize that immediately. You had one like that too. So these guys are legit. And and he says, "We have a prisoner. Do you have a holding cell of sorts?" And he says, "Yes, we do. Follow me." And they go off to their little section. All right, what does the party do now?
We need to rest up and then get going immediately, because that door's just going to get more open
Well-
as this goes on, right? The druid's awake. That's the
Mhm.
only
The
thing
druid
that's
is
keeping
indeed
you
awake,
closed.
yes. Okay, so 1 second, guys.
And what do you want to do with our prisoner?
I mean, we just need to leave him here for now.
The
It's not
elves
like we
can
can
probably deal
carry
with
with
them.
him.
Oh yeah, hey, we brought you a present.
Guys, so there's a thing. There's a thing we could do.
What's
All
that?
right, so all of you guys, you can move wherever you want to go. Also, did you guys take a look at the new armor list that I posted the other night?
I did.
Yeah. I updated my
Yes.
armor on my character sheet since I got the Elven Chainmail
So-
last time.
Yes. So you can totally resend that. If you want Baldric, you can have Elven Chain, which is 2 armor, but isn't clumsy. So you can wear it.
Oh, wait, so that means I have 2 armor then.
Yep, me too.
Yes.
Oh man.
Hey, the fuck is this shield?
What's
Nope.
the disadvantage of the elven chain?
There's no disadvantage. You just get 1 extra armor.
It's more expensive.
Money.
Yeah.
Will do.
They gave it to you for free. Like, I wanted to balance it because Elven Chain should be light enough so that it isn't clumsy. So,
It's just so that we
But also
can't
very
hire
good.
a bunch of people and give them a ton of Elven Chain. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Harold actually picks up Elven Chain for himself, which is neat. I'd like to see it. Harold says, "I'll be in whatever tavern there is in this town. I'm gonna need payment." He says.
Oh yeah, we owe
Plaintively.
him like 2 sessions worth of payment, right?
Well, this is the 3rd session. It's 150
Third.
coin.
Right. Okay.
He kind of demands it up front because it's been a while. He's clung to life a couple times.
So we owe him 150.
150 coin.
Do we have that?
should.
We should.
I don't have it. I have 15.
Oh.
You guys have been holding on to the treasure.
I
not,
have
not that I've had any inventory
143.
I have
142.
Yeah,
I
okay,
can.
so-
Oh, then we got
I can
plenty,
pony
it's
up.
fine. In fact, we can go ahead and pay him in advance for a couple of other ones then.
Well, then Khalgrast, Morgan, and I, we can each give him, how about 50 apiece?
I mean, that's that'll
Cover up until the end of the session, yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Alright, so all of you subtract 50 coin, and you kind of toss to him, and he says, huh, you actually did have the coin. Well, you still have my services. And he kind of walks over to the tavern.
Can we level up?
Yes!
Yeah, we'll level
you
up.
will all have the ability to level up. Alright.
So let's take our rest then.
Alright, actually, Vathanu approaches the party, and the man is still bound, and Khalgrast, had you reappear? The dwarves are out of sight. Out of
Yeah,
sight.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Alright. So Vathanu says, you are able to find the girl. And Alma says, hello, Granny! And she kind of waves as a seal. Goes, oh, wait! Fuck! And turns, switches back to Alma. Says, excellent. That is one thing less to worry about. I know you've had a very long rest and journey, but we have something very important. Please, follow me. And she actually brings the party to her hut. And in the floor, there's a carpet, but she removes it. And a voice trails, and she sticks her hand on the floor and whispers an elvish incantation, and the runes glow as it opens. And there's steps going down. Whatever you do, don't tell Raidenluth about this. And she kind of chuckles to herself. And the party is let down, and what appears to be about 6 or so recesses of pools into the ground. One of them is being used by a very critically injured elf right now, but there's other pools for you to rest in. This will help speed up the resting process. We had run out of water, but in the time you were gone, we were able to resupply. And you notice there are all sorts of runes and herbs and like arcane imagery and glyphs. As water, as you notice, like there's this little river kind of going into, kind of being seeped into these pools, going through the river. And Baldric, you notice this. They're actually being fed through starlight. And you have never seen this style before. You've known starlight as sort of like electricity, but used in this such a way is new to you. And you've dealt with starlight your whole life. As the liquid enriched with starlight kind of pours through like these phylacteries with all sorts of runes and glyphs into these pools. And the one elf just is asleep, who has been injured, is just resting. Use this as you see must. It will only take a few hours, but it's as if you would have rested for a whole day. Once you're done resting, find me. I have something important to ask of you all.
Oh yeah. Okay, I wanted to examine the gauntlet and the shield.
Alright, well, wait, you're right. Okay, so, as you all kind of like take a nice bath, it's been a long time you've had a bath, and the water kind of like creeps into your body and kind of like sticks to you like, almost like a living kind of slime, but very relaxing, and it enters your body and you just feel so relaxed. It's been a long time. You had a nice feeling like this, but you've earned it. As you take a look at the gauntlet, and you kind of imagine, I assume you're like sitting next to Taliesin, you're two separate pools, just kind of like rummaging through the magic items.
Yes.
And
That's
having a
an
nice little
interesting
conversation.
Picture.
Right? And
Where's that bathtub picture?
Oh yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
where's the
Where's that
bathtub?
bathtub picture?
Although I guess it's been 6 months and my hair's probably long now, so I got my hair done
yes.
up.
And so you all speak in. Let me just remove this, and all of you kind of in the hut recovering. And you'll speak, and the shield. You notice something about it, and the shield itself seems to have this magical luster and this veil on top of it. It's one armor, However, whenever something bypasses armor, it still gets defended with 1 armor, at least. So it just seems like this impenetrable force that, Taliesin, like you try to throw like some little, specks of magic missile at it, but it just doesn't go through. It just resists it entirely. And the gauntlets themselves, they reek of orcish energies and darkness, and you notice that it is tied to the shadows on the floor that you had dealt with before. Unfortunately, none of you can use it. It seems to be only in tuned with orcish blood, and none of you have orcish blood.
Oh yeah.
Unless someone were to get some tattoos that were to like give them the effects of having orcish blood.
It's true, unless do you one of you guys?
I mean, I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying I get what you're getting at here.
Yes, you could recreate the runes, but it is a bit of a ritual, as you can tell.
Yeah, actually, hold on. Like, I wanna spend some more time like looking at these runes. I'm gonna like put up my notes like around the edge of the tub here and pour over them. Like, so the basic idea is these things are making like fundamental changes to your like alchemical structure, right? Because we dealt with this a little bit before when it comes to like Wolfsbane and humans, right?
Yes.
Am I
you can
correct?
sprout lore about this.
Am I on point so far?
You could sprout lore about this.
Yeah, I would like to. Well, what I would like to spout lore about is I would like to identify the parts of these runes that were on this guy's body.
Yeah, that's fine.
Based on my sketches, specifically the parts that identify orcishness. Like, what about these are geared toward that direction?
All right,
Hell yes.
Excellent. After resting a little bit, you can isolate those. After resting and relaxing for a couple hours, you feel more rejuvenated than you have in a very long time. You head over to one of the cells over in the prison over here. And the man is awake, definitely awake, but like is flanked by 7 guards. He's all staring at him. He doesn't seem to move. His eyes dart around, and he doesn't have his entire eye is black. There's no pupils, just nothing but black. And you take a look into the runes of the gauntlet, and you take a look at the runes on his body after you kind of like, strip him bare for a little bit. And you notice several incisions on his body that have been scarred over. And from your usage of a scalpel and needles, and it's a very crude kind of ceremony where they actually inject blood into him, and the runes are there to kind of stabilize it, in a sense. To kind of channel the blood mixed with the human blood to bring out certain qualities. Now remember, orcs from the north, as you can tell, they do magic a little bit differently. They call upon the earth. Humans have a latent ability for mana. Not as much as elves, but they do have it in them. So what happens with these runes is that they blend both of them in a very cruel and sinister kind of way. And that's why this gentleman earlier was able to cast spells that it's not exactly human, not exactly orcish, but like a very decrepit union of both. Is that what you're looking for?
Right. Okay, I guess that's just one. I want to look into like refining this, like maybe making it a hell of a lot less crude.
You wish to study it, okay?
Maybe eschewing the need for blood.
Alright, so you just want to try and see if you can.
That would be nice, yeah.
So without the need of blood, you're trying to create like a healthier version of this ceremony, essentially.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I can improve upon it.
All right, by all means, you take out your journal and go ahead and just do an intelligence check.
Okay. I imagine this is not going to be a short process, so we'll just go ahead and get a good start
it's a
out
13.
on it,
All right, so in your moves, can you mark a orcish ritual on one of your moves? And next to it, you are at a 3 out of 8 right now.
Done.
So, sorry?
Done. I also picked my skill, if you want to see that.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at that in a second.
Yeah.
But 10 plus is 3 successes on that. It's like a clock.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stealing the clock thing again, but I just it's easier for you to mark it down in your character sheet.
I feel it.
10 plus is 3, 7 to 9 is 1, and 6 is a you don't get anything.
Right.
Right?
And
Okay,
I get
cool.
to make it whenever you say so.
Yes. Like if you notice, like after a battle, you want to take a look more in these humans. Yes, this is just one subject. So, like, you
right.
gotta
I
make
follow.
sure-
I follow.
So you gotta like take a look at more bodies essentially, and you get what you get, and you leave. All right. Baldric, Morgan, and Khalgrast, what are you guys doing?
After I rest, I want to go meet up with Alma.
All right. So Alma is actually kind of grazing in the thing here, and she's also taking a bath of her own. She's gonna slip around, and you notice she's kind of flopping in the water. She jumps in. She's like, ah! It's been a while since she's been around water, and she jumps in with her feet. And she jumps up, turns to a fish, goes under the water, comes up as a crab, comes back as a seal, just constantly changing forms, and just really enjoying where she is right now. Ah, it's been a long while, ain't that right, Roscoe? And Roscoe's just kind of like licking his fur and kind of snarls right back at Alma, and Alma goes, fine, potty mouth, and sees you, Baldric, coming towards her. He says, hello.
I wave back and I say, Alma, I actually have something for you from Aiden. We were a
Aiden.
bit pressed for time, and I couldn't hand it to you.
How's that bitch doing?
He's doing very well, and I hand her the sigil and the letter.
Oh, well, if that's the case. And I didn't realize you met him. He's a very nice pussy.
Yes, we met him up north. We actually had
You know, he
pleasure
tried
of
really
fighting him.
hard. He tried really hard to break my habit of swearing, but it didn't work out too well. Oh no. Are these really bad words that I'm using?
They are not the nicest. I hate to say it, Alma, but you talk like a sailor.
Well, that makes... Wait. She notices this patch on your shoulder. You've tried to tear it off, but there's still marks.
Oh, I'm not wearing the jacket.
You're not wearing the jacket. Okay, never mind. She would not notice them. And she takes the sigil and... Alright, this is definitely that bitch's sigil. Alright, and she opens up the letter and reads through it. Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for helping me get out, but it looks like I'm gonna have to fully cooperate with you. If that's the case, I'm gonna go meet with the Elder, and when everyone's ready, you all can speak with us. I need to give her some pertinent information. Thank you for showing this. Don't mind you, I've had to deal with humans before, and just wanted to make sure you're all trustworthy. It seems that you bitches are. Thank you. And
Thank you. You have fun in that water.
as she kind of jumps in, like swims around as a fish, doing the whole thing again. I want to remind everyone that she's the age of 15, so. All right, Morgan, Khalgrast, you two are still kind of like soaking yourselves in the rejuvenation water.
I mean, when I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go back upstairs and stay inside the hut and
Yes.
wait, because I'm not going outside.
You know, I mean, I'm preparing spells, and then like that's gonna take the longest set of anybody else's preparations. So
I mean, I'm communing with Voss, so I gotta prepare spells too.
Yeah,
Vathano both gives you like a private room to do your shit in.
yeah.
Your
I
house
mean,
is pretty large. It's like a 3-story mansion.
but once we're
except
done with that,
wood.
we're gonna get going. We have no time to waste.
Where is... I can't remember his name, but the guy who was constantly giving me the side eye.
Oh, Rillineth, yes, he is currently manning the north wall.
That asshole.
Yep, I need to have words with him.
Okay, Morgan, like this is all happening at once. So
Morgan,
Morgan, go
where are
ahead.
you going?
I need to find someone.
No, you don't. Just let it go.
Do you let go, Morgan?
I can't.
Okay, you go. So get dressed, you put on your gear.
He
And-
has some problem with me. That means he knows something about me.
Okay. You see Rillineth standing at watch, ever vigilant. You notice that it looks like he hasn't moved from that position for like the last 6 hours. As he sees you walking up, he leans over into the one of the other rangers and says, "Keep watch for me." And he climbs down the ladder and stands and looks at you. You want something?
So, He's not giving me any kind of stink eye right now.
I mean, he's glaring at you, but the anger for the most part has left his face, but he is still very stern and tense right now around you.
And he also had similar tattoos that I have, correct?
Yes, but they were not authentic, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. He painted those.
Yes.
Mine are still glowing, right?
There is always a constant and soft glow. You notice that if it's later at night, it glows more, and if it's early in the morning, it glows less.
Is
So-
visible to everyone, though.
Yes.
Can I see your arm?
He says, why? He's a bit embarrassed by this.
Just need to do a comparison.
He sighs. He takes out his arm, rolls up his sleeve, and gives it to you. What do you do?
I'm gonna roll up mine, and I'm going to put my arm and his side by side.
And you notice like him wince a little bit seeing your glowing tattoos. And they're similar. There's some errors, but they're similar.
I'm gonna look at him. Then I'm gonna look back at the markings, then back to him. You know something about this.
Yes. Yes, I do. That's what he says.
So talk.
He kind of looks to his men and kind of looks at you. I will tell you what you need to know because that is my duty. These are my men, and I would be careful with giving me orders, outsider. And he kind of looks. But I will tell you what you need to know. And he kind of pulls you aside to where the trees are. Kind of like looks at you and says, "Has the elder told you anything about this?"
Shakes her head.
That's like the elder. There is a ritual. For several hundred years, a ritual. It is known as the Rite of the Moon. They never leave the Silver Forest because they protect the Silver Forest. You are what they call a Moonweaver. And he looks at you. I have been training for this honor for 300 years. He kind of says that with a bit of spite at the end of his voice. May I ask, how old are you?
I think she'd be like 25, 26.
25, okay, alright.
Oh, rude. Asking a lady her age like that? That's just mean.
Yeah. So,
Something like that.
You're a baby.
yeah, Morgan's a baby.
But older
Alright,
than
so-
me. That's funny. Are we?
So-
my character?
I need to actually check the age.
I don't
see
actually
what I
think we ever wrote that down anywhere.
Mid-20s. So you're mid-20s. And like when you say
say
that you're in
older,
your
yeah.
mid-20s, his eyes just kind of like he kind of goes weak at the knees and he clenches his fist. I will trust the elder in her decision, outsider. But no, plainly, I think you do not deserve this. It's not a matter of me having it or not, but just an outsider whose age is just barely that of a young tree. I am appreciative that you saved my village. You do show some talent, but... And he kind of trails off. Just be careful.
You said you trained for this, correct?
Yes,
Who trained you?
a windwalker. She is one too.
And where is she now?
trapped. Again, he drills off and looks to the side. That is what the Elder wishes to speak with you about. If you want more information, you'll talk to her. I must go back to my watch. And, you notice there's actually some tears welling in his eyes right now. Either through embarrassment, rage, you don't know. But before he goes back to his watch, he turns back at you, Morgan, and says, "The spear has accepted you, which is why I hadn't cut you down on the spot. I will trust Saloon in her judgment. May you bring prosperity to the elves." And he turns away. He goes back to his post.
Well, guess I gotta go talk to the Elder now.
Right, so everyone in their respective, after having their little moments, come back in. Where did Taliesin go? Wait, no, there you go.
Justin's right there.
Yeah, no, I was looking for Morgan. Vathanu sits down and she's clutching an emissary in her hand, and kind of like climbs up from the window. She doesn't use a door; she just uses the window. Climbs in, sits down. Ross goes there too.
God, you can just tell this is one of Rook's characters.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're just written the fuck all over her, is what it is.
God.
Right, and Alma sits down and says, "All right, I guess I have some explaining to do. Do you have any questions before we get started?"
Yeah, what were you doing there? I assume sealing off the door, right?
I had assumed to seal it off, but I'm sure you all have met big muscly men. Yeah. She's referring to Ivanimar.
You mean Vanumaru?
Yes, we've met him.
Yes, I just call him Muscle Man because I couldn't pronounce his name. Anyway.
That's fair.
So, how's he doing, by the way?
Yeah.
No, hold on. He's not dead. Yeah, no, he's not. There's a difference. He ascended. He's, closer to a god than, being a spirit.
Ascended. I'm sorry, I don't really know what that means. Does it mean coming?
No.
Oh, alright, well. So, if that's the case.
Well, he arm wrestled a god, and I think he, earned something in doing it.
Arm wrestled a god, and she kind of laughs and kicks her hands out. That sounds like muscle men. Anyways, so I'm sure you know, Aiden had sent me down here to close off this gate. What he did not expect is that there's about 17,000 orcs protecting it.
I was about to wonder why he sent you alone.
There seems to be a greater, what is it that Reyes said? Conspiracy is the word. Did I use the right word? And I kind of looked at Roscoe, and Roscoe just kind of shrugs and says, anyways, so I closed the door and hopes that eventually Aiden would come down here to help. Where is he, by the way?
He's helping to take care of matters up north, since there's still an orc invasion going on.
Not coming.
The orcs found the other door. We have sealed it off, but the front's moved to basically right at the door's footsteps. So that's what Aiden's busy doing right now.
Hey, wait a minute. Do you know anything about orcs that aren't under control of this god thing?
Yes, there's actually a few that we know. We had sent emissaries, but Aiden does all the fancy tactical stuff. All I do is just sleep.
The word is diplomacy.
Diplomacy. And she kind of she takes out a small little notebook. Can you spell that for me? And you spell it for her, and she writes it down.
I take the pen and I write it down in her book.
Oh, thank you. You're nice. You're much nicer than Reyes. Reyes was a meanie. I'm trying to clean up my language. And she says, and you sit down, and she thanks you for that.
Yeah, I shrug and
says,
hand her the pen and book back.
Back to the matter.
There's two, and she describes the orcs that you had met originally, Drugar, Drakta, the shaman. So I'm really happy that they're alive. The elder actually taught me a lot more about druid magic. That's why I was able to sleep. Although now that I'm awake, but by the way, thank you for saving me. But now there's really no one protecting the door from opening. I garner about 2 weeks before it opens. It might be shorter because they have people around there opening it.
Yeah,
Some
well,
terrible
why waste
nightmares.
any time? Taliesin stands up. You read my mind. Let's go take care of it.
Vathanu says 17,000 orcs rest on that plateau, on the gate.
Have you met me?
Yes, but...
I have.
Pardon? What was that, Morgan?
Morgan, the response is, have you met me? I have.
Taliesin's just kind of standing there, mouth like slightly agape, like halfway between a smartass remark and halfway in between of like, oh, that many, huh?
It's a bit different than what you had to deal with in the north, I assume. You only had to deal with a small splinter force, yes?
How did they get so far south, though?
We don't know. But they had crashed into all of our keeps and strongholds. I have lost contact with so many of the other villages. And, you hear a knock on the door. Yes, you may enter. A dwarf enters in.
Taliesin's just gonna sit back down in his seat and like start chewing on his finger, thinking.
You called for me, Elder. Yes, I'm glad you're able to be safe. Have you accustomed well? He says, yes, this is more than I can ever ask for. When I get back home, I'll make sure of my people to, one, send aid, and two, know of your aid. And he looks, and his eyes trail over Khalgrast. Another dwarf is with you, but he doesn't recognize you.
Oh, right, this is one of our companions.
And sees the other elf, and inhales, and he salutes, and he does the Iron Spear salute. How do you respond?
Yeah, I tell him, don't be rude, introduce yourself. I'm not gonna tell him his name.
Yep. Khalgrast. He stomps, and he does the Iron Spear salute. And there's like this instinctual at the back of your mind to do the same thing, but what do you do?
Don't do that.
You don't do that. You kind of nod as he walks up and he extends his hand and he shakes and he offers to shake with you. Shake your hand.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna shake his hand.
You shake his hand. My name is Mugar. You look like you're from the Iron Mountains. You have the look.
I was. From Daldrum.
I see. Well, it is not me to pry into your backstory. All I know is that you're here to help, and that is all they care about. He kind of sits down in the chair and introduces himself to Morgan. My name is Mugar. It's nice to meet you. And
I'm Morgan. I hope you enjoyed your time with my griffin.
that was yours. That explains everything. Majestic beast. Very majestic. And you
quite.
hear
No, not
irritated-
really.
you hear irritated, told you, bitch, from the outside.
Also a loudmouth.
You just see Iridan's there, like just listening, kind of like
But-
on the roof, listening in.
Bitch,
Well, we like to call those endearing character qualities.
Annoying.
And
Endearing.
Bathanu says, "Are any of you familiar with the Silverleaf Windwalkers?" The
Hey
Silver
Alex,
Forest Windwalker.
do I need to roll Spout Lore?
Spout Lore!
Am I familiar with the Silverleaf whatevers? Hey, somebody help me out. Morgan, you probably know something, so you can help.
Well,
Could I use my Baldric lore for that?
they're not arcane. They're not
Oh,
arcane.
that's right.
They're not
But
arcane.
you could probably help with your Baldric lore.
You can help.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna attempt to.
I just
You're gonna
need
get a plus
to, like,
one.
get it.
You get a
Fuck it
plus.
up.
Both of you get a +1 to this because
I did it.
yeah, both of you did it.
Morgan super did it. Damn.
I did
So-
it.
In that case, that's
Um,
an 11. Yeah.
That is indeed an 11, and with a little bit, Baldric, you would have heard these. The Windwalkers are like, you've heard these tales of magnificent elven fighters and soldiers who dance like the wind, who move with such grace that it would even make your dexterity saving throws look pathetic. Not really. You
No,
rolled too
that's
well.
just uncalled for.
I'm kidding.
It's
God,
also false.
it's also false. No one can beat Baldric, to be honest.
Objectively untrue, yeah.
But anyways, The Windwalkers are indeed a legendary group of elven rangers who caretake the forest. They seldom leave, but sometimes they do. The priestess, as you remember, was a Windwalker from the statue. And you would and Taliesin would start to sprout this lore, and Mathoni says, "Yes, you are correct." And one of them, their leader, current leader, is another Moonweaver. And Mathoni says, I was able to get
many questions.
I was able to get word from one of them. The last I'd known, they were about 2,000 strong, but they were at. Sorry, let me check one thing in my notes. Comenia, sorry. There we go. All right.
Hey, while you're looking up
Sapphire.
that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. You can talk.
I was gonna ask Alma something. So,
You can ask after.
Hypothetically, just...
Or you can ask now.
Huh? I'm sorry.
ahead,
I thought
go ahead,
you
sorry.
said... sorry, I couldn't hear you. I thought you said go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what would happen if something were to happen to the door itself? That would be bad? That would be just like an opening?
Alma says, well, all I really know is that the door in itself isn't specifically a door, but more of a gate. If we collapse it in on itself, it might work.
How do you collapse a door like that on itself?
Well,
So it's going to be a font of incredible power, and of course, the more it opens, I kind of sort of gesture forward with my hands, pointedly. The more it opens, the more power is going to be pulling out of it.
oh, yes, I
And-
heard about this. One of the sailors referred to this as a vagina.
Different
What?
concept. Different concept.
Baldric face palms.
All right, well, I guess if there's more magic... See, the thing is, I was able to keep it closed for a while until they got all these shamans over there. Theoretically, if you do get rid of all the riffraff, I could go to sleep again and close it.
Oh, no. I'm thinking more taking advantage of the power coming through to,
You're talking about destroying the thing.
I mean, I'd need to go do some math, but
Math.
if I wait until it's almost open, I might can get the whole plateau. That might be overambitious. I might be overselling this. Don't let me lie to you. But, I mean, I've done explosions before.
Well, we can try. And Vathani speaks up and says, that magic, are you powerful enough to do that?
Well, I didn't do it alone last time, so I'm gonna need some help.
And, she looks over to Alma, and then she looks over to herself. I will help you. She stands up.
And, I'm gonna need some more... I stopped myself from saying subjects. Well, I guess I don't
Compatriots?
even need to finish this if we can just get an orc.
That leads me on to my next subject. And you notice Mugar has been sitting and listening attentively and kind of scanning across all the parties. He does take more looks at you, Khalgrast, starting to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
I shoot the eyes back at him.
Alright, and Vivani says, the Windwalkers had sent back an emissary. They are caught right now at the Sapphire Keep. We need all the help we can get.
Oh,
She takes it out and marks a location. It'll take 2 days to get there, and 2 days back. I know you are short on time, but if you're able to get the Windwalkers, they can help us with our assault onto the plateau. Give you enough of an opening to get in.
As much
Wait
as
a
I want to
minute.
boast, I don't
Wait
think
a
I can
minute.
get past 17,000 orcs.
Hey, Alex, can I still,
Yes.
prepare spells here, or have I already, blown that? Can I take some
You
time?
would have time to prepare spells.
Get
Okay.
flashback, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually... Hey, guys, I'm sorry, but Fireball's off the table. I think I'm gonna be using Shadow Walk.
I mean, I'm basically a fireball, it's fine.
I think I am gonna be on shuttle duty. Alex, do you know what Shadow Walk is?
I'm looking to read it right now.
I can just read it to you. I have I have the book up here.
You put it in chat too.
I did put it in chat earlier, but Shadow Walk, I target shadows near me with this spell to become a portal for me and my allies. Name a location, describing it using a number of words up to my level, which is 7 right now. Stepping through the portal deposits you and any allies present when you cast the spell at the location you described. The portal may only use
Alright.
Yeah, it's, so for instance, if I wanted to learn to return to this place, I could say Shadow, what the fuck is the name? Silverleaf?
Yes, so there would be a
Silverleaf Village Elder
yeah.
Hut, and we pop out here.
Yes. You
Or
can
house.
totally do that.
It's not a hut. That's sort of insulting.
Yes.
It's a house. It's a home. So yeah, I think we're not gonna be taking 2 days to get there and then 2 days to get back. That seems like a bad idea for us with our limited time. I'd like to make the most of that.
If you're able to do that, that will help a lot.
And I'm gonna take magic missile. Sorry, no invisibility.
Yeah, so you can take whatever you need.
Oh, look at any allies.
And any allies. It's not limited by number here. I can take. I'm sure that maybe I can't take like an army, maybe an adventuring party and supporting crew.
All right, very likely. But anyways,
Hey, can
So-
we ditch Harold here? I don't want to pay him anymore.
I don't know. Harold's actually really useful because he's probably the only hireling that we're ever gonna get that is like equivalent to a player.
That's
Hold on
true.
a second, guys.
Or at least in HPs.
Like most of the hirelings that we probably would have tried to get would have died by now. Hey Alex, is this guy gonna get more? Like, is he actually gonna gain experience over time?
yes.
Then hell yeah, we're keeping him. Because then there
Alright.
definitely is a reason to keep a dude forever
I
if
clicked
they're
on
gonna
his
gain
actual-
experience.
I clicked on his actual image, and yeah, we gotta keep him now.
All right. So, with that, Vathaner says, "So you'll go."
We don't have much of a choice.
I'm sorry, I've already asked too much of you, but the Windwalkers are a part of the Elves. If you save the Windwalkers, much of the other smaller towns will come.
No, I shake my head. No, this is what we came here for.
She kind of sits and she smiles. So there is hope after all.
Help me out here. 7 words to describe where we're going. Glad I don't have to come up with this myself all the time. All of this is in character out loud, by the way.
Probably ask the person who's been there.
I'll look at the Elder.
Yes?
7 words. I can do 8 later. Maybe next time you see me. I give her a wink.
7 words to teleport over there?
Yeah, just... What's this?
Describe
It's
the place.
tower...
Oh, okay. Let's see. If
We're
Vathaner
supposed to
thinks about it. Sapphire Keep. The Sapphire Keep near the pristine river. That's 6 words. She suggests.
Okay. Let's do some experimentation. This is the first time I'm using this spell here. Are we ready to go, by the way?
We should gather everyone.
Yeah, who's all coming? I'm
And,
actually gonna
uh,
look over to the dwarves over there. I mean, they came to this meeting after all.
Mughar
means they got some
says,
kind
"My
of
men will
interest."
go."
Oh,
I'll nod to him. Hell yeah.
Has
I have
Wesley
already
been there?
asked the Elven Wardens to protect, to guard over the one dwarf amongst. And you can tell he's really angry. Dwarf amongst us. My crew will go. Viser as well as Satine. I can promise you that much.
Good. Hey, listen, you guys, you're probably used to a lot of drag-out fights, right?
Yes,
If you want to head up the front,
Specialized.
we'll take out the leaders.
we will push, and I will defend your rear and flanks. And Vathaner says, "There is one thing though." She goes back into her room and she hold on, real quick. Let me just double check one thing. There is a map with a nearby area if you would like to strategize.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Are you kidding me? Yes.
Okay. And 1 second, let me just clear. Alright. She opens up a map and shows the party the general outlook. Alright, you guys on?
There's the tower.
This is the keep in itself, over here.
Right now.
Alright, so I'm gonna direct you guys a little bit. So, she says, this is as most of a recent map as I have. Things might have changed. The letter was very, very dire. Over here is where most of the elves are. There were about 2,000 windwalkers that have been recruited. I've heard there's only about 1,000 left. They're not doing so well. The orcish front is on this side, and she draws. Hold on, let me just... She starts drawing on a piece of paper, so just to help. There are several fronts right now. The single bridge is able to hold them off since it's drawn, but they have been trying to hit the walls, and so many orcs, so many. Reported about 5,000. See, it wouldn't normally be an issue, but a splinter force, probably some that has attacked the village up in the north, where we are, have started to move down and attack from the north. They are in dire straits.
The Splinter Force. Do we have a number?
Well, and Mugar actually speaks up. Actually, yes, our ranger has tracked much of them. They don't seem to do quite a bit, so only about 200.
Alright, I look over to Khalgrast, and I kind of like, you know that where you weigh out each hand like you're doing scales?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes.
Just yes.
Alright, I'm going to... Hold on, let me actually grab the freehand tool. Right here, I think. Sapphire Tower...
Sapphire Keep.
Sapphire Keep, Northern Grove, by Pristine River?
By Pristine River.
Yeah, Sapphire Tower
sure.
by Pristine River and Northern Grove.
Alright, you can totally say that.
Like, we can splinter out and take out their actual like, command structure.
Well, what I'm proposing is that we come in behind these guys and just sweep on in right here and bing bang bosh.
This is bing bang bosh.
And then, you know, we head back into the keep. I could probably just get us right back into the keep itself.
I mean, if we censor them, it's gonna be no problem.
Well, we don't even have to stick around. Hey, that's the beauty of it. We don't even have to stick around. We just take out the leader, and we shadow walk the hell on out of there.
That's fine with me.
Well, actually, it's very risky. You know how bad spells can go. So, it could just not work.
At least help you there.
Mugar.
We should be prepared for at least a backup plan.
It's called Khalgrast.
Hey, if we're lucky, it'll just fail here, and then, you know, we'll just scrap the whole thing, and we'll just go take a nap, or whatever, I guess.
It tells me it won't.
So if we're ready, I'll make the casting roll.
And,
Where's Wesley?
Wesley will come in a second. Mugar stands up and speaks and says, there's only about a dozen of us. Can we really take on 200?
No. But we're not going to take on 200. We're going to come behind 200 and kill about 30 of the smartest ones? Maybe 50. Probably.
You mean 199 of them?
Dude.
I mean, orcs aren't that smart.
I mean, they're as smart as anyone else, but just like anyone else, they have a power structure, and if they don't have a leader and they're behind enemy lines, what the hell are they going to do? Your rangers are just going to roll over. Our job's done. We just need to get in and do the job and get out.
Yeah, then we should definitely not fight them head on. I mean, like, are you kidding?
No, so that's the plan. We come in behind. They're not going to expect us to come in from that direction.
You guys take out demons for a living. I think you could handle a few orcs.
Mugar says, oh, is that a challenge? and his eyes flare up with some
Vigor.
adrenaline.
Oh, you want to keep score?
He stands up. I've done this before. Both Satine and Vizier have challenged me. They've always lost.
Oh, I'm gonna take out my journal. I think I made enough notes about their ceremonial dress. I could probably keep track by rank as well.
What do you mean track by rank?
Well,
What
there
do
should
you
be
have?
some sort of multiplier.
For
I
the
mean,
orcs. For the orcs.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
no, I'm just joking around with them.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
anyways. And it says, keep score.
Oh, I closed my journal. Listen, this is taking up most of my spell brain. I'll not have much else to do, but take notes and throw a few magic missiles.
It says, I'll keep score with you, dwarf. I never got your name, by the way.
Cathaldrum.
Cathaldrum?
Or Daldrum.
Thaldrum? Okay.
Type that out.
That'll work.
However you heard it, that's what it is.
Thaldrum.
Yes.
Yes. He
Yes.
sticks out his hand and he goes to shake it. Shake it.
Yeah, I shake his hand. Voss isn't
Oh.
stupid, right?
Voss is not stupid right now. He has been completely silent the entire time.
Voss is a smartass, but he's a smartass with a fucking strong
smart-
self-preservation instinct.
Can we,
It's very
can
strong.
we not attract the attention of Purifier, please?
In fact, I would say Voss's primary defining characteristic is his strong self-preservation instinct.
Yeah, this is gonna say.
Kinda is.
So yeah.
All right. So, with that, there's about 30 minutes left. Are you guys okay to go 30 more minutes?
I think we can start out here and get things going and probably leave off before a big fight or something like that.
I'm not quite sure on 30 minutes.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I'll set up this whole scene then, okay?
Yeah, we can
All right.
we can go ahead and teleport in. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'll stop the session in about 10 more minutes.
that's good.
All right.
Yeah. Got a call.
Any less-
I need to take someone to the airport.
Oh goodness.
Any words? Any last remarks?
Well, did you need to leave right now, Melty?
No, I don't have to leave right now.
Hey, does anyone want the shield? Like, I have one, and honestly, I'm pretty armored.
Doesn't the thing only work if you have orc blood?
No,
no,
not
that's the gauntlet.
that's the gauntlet, not the shield.
Oh,
The
it's
shield
gauntlet.
is
My mistake.
Hey, wait, yeah, can't you use this Taliesin? I mean, you can look at it for all your visions, whatever you do.
I mean, I guess. What
you
does
can
this
use
do
a shield
again?
to get. It's +1 armor that also, if you have it on you, it still reduces all damage by 1, even if it's magical. Like if there's magic that
Oh.
hits you,
It
And-
specifically Pierce is what you said.
Yeah, I'll try it out. What kind of shield is this? We didn't really establish.
let's call
what...
it Alvo's shield.
Yeah, well, what kind of shield is it? Is it a buckler? Is it a kite shield? Is it a what's it look like?
It's a kite shield. It's a full plate kite shield.
Oh, so it's very heavy.
So wait,
Yeah.
what?
No, it's 2-weight.
Okay,
Well, 1
so-
weight actually. One
You
weight.
said
1 weight. Yeah, 1 weight. You're right. 1 weight. It is mastercrafted. And what was it that you're saying, Baldric?
Nothing.
Okay. And
I'm gonna leave
Meekly-
behind my rations, by the way.
yeah, all your stuff. If you leave it here, we'll get back into your inventory when you come back.
Of course.
And Harold comes in. He's semi-drunk, but he's still bringing him. Says, "Did I miss something?"
We're going north?
South.
We're
you
gonna
guys are
fight
going
some
south.
more.
South. Okay, thank you.
I shrug. It doesn't really matter what direction. We don't have to think about it that way.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And Harold says, "Oh well, you already paid me, so where? Just let me know where to go."
I point to the darkest corner of the room, right there. Yikes!
I assist.
Guys, give me some help.
Whew, not like this.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a 6. That's a 7. That's an 8. Okay. No one else can help. So,
Wait,
Wesley?
Wait, Wesley's there. Wesley can help.
Wesley, save us, please.
alright. Wesley will help, but that's only a 9. So, 2d6 plus 1, because he doesn't have a lot of bonds with you
What
just
about
yet.
the Elder?
Oh my god. Wesley's a fucking god!
Thanks, Wesley.
What about the Elder,
Oh,
though?
boy.
Hey, we saved the village.
The Elder? Do you want the Elder to help too? Alright, so
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Elder...
it's I mean, she's like, she gave me the words even, so.
Yeah, you're right. And she actually, her staff starts to glow in the magical energy. And Morgan, tattoo starts to glow on her arm as well.
I'm not surprised by that.
Hey, that's neat.
But they're a different color. Yours
Oh.
are blue,
Oh.
hers are green. But they seem very faded and weathered by time. As she starts to cough, and
She got some splaining to do.
Hey.
Okay, Alex, I want you to help me out here with describing what
Yep.
just narratively happened, because I almost really fucking lost control of this spell here, and then I got some help.
Alright.
So this is really this is really like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like underlining the whole like magic is actually super dangerous thing that we kind of established, but has never been relevant before because of really good rolls.
Well, here's something unfortunate, because Voss would have to help you.
so this is what happens. All the party stands around in a circle. After a few moments, Wesley comes in. He's battered, he's bruised, but he's bandaged up, and he writes, "Thanks for saving me," on his journal, and he's ready to go. Satine also, actually, I'm just gonna... Yeah, the people who are going. Alma's also going as well. Right?
I see.
And with that, the whole room from the shadow starts to crawl out. It seeps out, envelops the whole room as a gateway opens. But Taliesin, there's a shock of energy that hits your mind as it opens into a portal straight to hell. And lava bursts of just the core itself of the earth as people start to get slipped in. But everyone, let's see, Morgan helps. Morgan, you weave some magic and the moonlight, and kind of hold everyone in a net from falling into hell. And Baldric, you start playing really loud music.
Can I throw Sasha at them?
Sasha does help secure the net. And let's see, Khalgrast, Voss, just all you hear is shit. And
Shit.
Voss seeps into the ground, and Mugar, as well as Satine, don't notice this, but Vizier, his eyes shoot directly to you as they widen. And the ground itself, like, Voss becomes literally the portal and the shadow and envelops. And then you hear the back of your skull Taliesin. No, you better be careful next time, otherwise I will have to eat your soul. And the door closes and opens again into what appears to be a whole tree line. And the party, one by one, gets sucked in. All the people...
I just want to say that Taliesin's face is beet red. I have never been so embarrassed in all of my life.
Like, goddamn, the one roll.
And what I want to say
Oh
while
my
we're going
God.
into the portal, yeah, I rolled it. I told Khalgrast, like I said, shit can go wrong. It is very dangerous.
Khalgrast rolls his eyes.
Are we just floating in like the nether as he's saying this?
Yes.
I mean, just Taliesin is like, shedding light. He is so bright pink.
I trusted you,
Did we
Taliesin.
almost go to hell? We almost went to hell, didn't we?
No,
If it
that
means anything.
that
I
wasn't
had-
literally hell. That was, I believe, a physical location on the material plane. I
Looked
think.
like hell to me.
Well, no, I think I might have turned it perpendicularly.
Well, it's
90
the first
degree
time we cast
angle,
that spell,
so-
I guess I'll give you a pass.
Well, instead of sending us 2 leagues to the west, I sent us 2 leagues directly down, I think.
Oh, I think we're coming up on it.
Yep. 1 second. So, y'all get plopped in after a little bit of help. And
A little.
just a little bit. And just where you wanted to land, right there.
Nice.
But, Khalgrast, you rolled a 9. Baldric, you rolled a 9. Wesley also rolled a 9.
Uh-oh.
Wesley rolled an 11. Never mind. The Elder, you don't get to see here. But the both of you are going to be a little bit off. As
Hey, wait a minute. I rolled a 9. The dwarves already noticed me. Leave me alone.
Yeah, actually, that's fair.
well, Baldric, I guess you're alone in this one.
Shit.
Baldric,
Shit.
you land
Hair.
about here. And 1 second, I need to encompass the whole map real quick in the GM layer.
Hey, wait, if the dwarves don't notice me, I'll be out there.
Yeah.
No,
let's
no.
have Khalgrast with me.
No. Alex wants that to happen. That's gotta happen eventually.
And
you might as well take it.
I'm
on
gonna end the
this.
session with this.
Oh man, Alex, I'm sorry that I. Actually, I'm not sorry for throwing a cliffhanger at the end of your fucking session. Like that. I guess that just worked out perfectly.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Can I at least roll like a dexterity to see if I land on my feet?
Go ahead and roll a dex save. go roll your dex. Hey, you land on your feet.
Of course,
Do I
of
look
course.
cool? Do I
You
look
look
awesome?
very cool as you land in between two squads of rangers, and they look back and they see you from the sky out of nowhere land on your feet, and you slip your hair, move your hair to one side. You see Sasha lands right next to you. You don't know, Sasha becomes a parachute for you as you land to the ground.
Squeaks, as you wait. Okay.
As you look to both sides, where are my friends?
I have two questions actually. Does Baldric strike a pose, and do I see it?
Please,
Baldric,
Sarah,
do you
strike
strike- do you strike a
yes.
pose?
Yes.
Taliesin,
When
you
would
see.
Baldric not strike a pose?
Fucking idiot! And I turn to the dwarves. Go.
All right, and I'm gonna end this session with that. So we'll start next session right into combat. Okay.
Yay.
Hell yeah! I can't
Right.
believe I almost sent us to hell.
Like zoinks.
Zoinks. So that's a bit of a cliffhanger to leave off on, but you're about to fight a whole goddamn army sieging this keep.
Yeah, my bad on that.
That's all right. No, 100% okay. And the sessions are going to be a bit shorter because we're doing it so late at night, but it's
Yeah.
more consistent, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I have work and shit, so, I mean,
All right. So end of session stuff. 1 second. I still haven't put a fucking sticky note on that. I probably should. But did we learn anything new and interesting about the world? Yeah, I feel like you did.
I feel like I did. I feel like I need to know a lot more.
I mean, yes, you'll get to know a lot more. It's more questions and questions and questions.
I feel like I went to the right person when asking about this whole marking.
Oh yes, you did. Oh yes, you did. All right, that's 1 XP for everyone.
Okay.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
negative.
About to.
No, we didn't combat this time.
No.
Did we loot memorable treasure? Yeah,
Affirmative.
the
Yeah.
gauntlet and the shield. The shield I was planning anyways, but the gauntlet was smart, so I'll give you guys that point of experience. Did anyone do any of their alignments? And Baldric, yes, you did, because with your smooth talking, you avoided the entire dwarves trying to, well, Khalgrast knows.
Yep.
Did I use magic to directly aid another? I mean,
Yes, invisible.
Yes.
on Khalgrast.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah,
totally.
sure.
What about everyone else?
We didn't fight, so I didn't do anything.
I didn't endanger myself, so no.
All right, now, okay. Damn. What a way to end off the session with. Why is this dude upside
Yeah,
down?
I'm in the middle of this.
Yes, you are
As
in the middle of
handsome as I usually do. At least if I die, I would have looked amazing.
Yes. Alright.
Won't die. This is the perfect chance to finish my bond with you.
Alright, here. Actually, I want to link this for you guys. Fucking Dungeon World. I like that this is the song I've started to use for the outro, and this is our situation.
It's very apt.
Oh yeah.
Anyways. Alright.
Oh,
Hope you
man.
guys had fun tonight.
Oh
A
my
lot
God.
of world building, a lot of intensity, and a lot of backstories.
You know, I'm glad that we're actually getting to see more of Khalgrast.
Yeah, actually, this is gonna be interesting when if that purifier finds out today. I'm gonna have to tell these guys to fucking shut up.
Are we gonna have to silence some dwarves for you?
Hey, I already said that could be an option.
That's not we're not doing that. It's not gonna come to that.
It's probably a bad idea, because then, I mean, if you do that, then they just get more.
Yeah, it's gonna be more of them, and it's gonna be endless.
We already have orcs to deal with.
We're dealing with that one way or another, but not that way. I don't know what we're gonna do, especially because the guy knows for sure now. But like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know what choice.
I mean, we also just fight him and not kill him. That's definitely an option.
I mean, these guys. Okay, so these guys, we may be able to do something with. If the Purifier finds out, that's the problem.
That's the one that found out.
The Purifier didn't find out he's not with us.
Oh, who was
The Purifier's with you guys.
Yeah,
Wait, yes. Where?
that's the one who found out, dude.
Oh, wait, wait, there are 3 dwarves. The Purifier was with us.
There is the Purifier, a Ranger, and the Vanguard with you.
Oh, I thought there were 4 of them.
Nope.
Yes, one of them
The
didn't
fourth
come with
one-
you guys.
Yeah, the fourth one, yeah.
The fourth one didn't go with you guys, and the prisoner that they had is being held up
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
I knew that, but
The Vanguard said his squad will go with you, and his squad is the Ranger and the Purifier.
oh, I thought the Purifier was separate. My bad. Oh, well, good. This should be great.
Man, did we come out on the sides with all the... Are those the fucking ninjas?
No, those are aren't those the armored guys?
Yes.
I can't keep track. I know you're using standardized boys, but I don't have them all memorized yet. Well, I recognize the
These are
casters,
actually-
actually.
There are no
These are
ninjas
the-
on. There are no ninjas on the field. right
Good.
Yes.
Well, no, they're there.
Yet.
Also, first of all, fuck you. Yeah, they're not on the board yet, but they're
now.
there.
Yeah, but they're here, but they're not. You don't
I
see
like
them.
how I want you guys to know the ninjas were something that I came up on the spot and has been kind of a recurring thing where the party just fucking hates them.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
you've read Spirit of the Century. You've read that book, right? The game book, Spirit of the Century.
No, I have not.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
God,
you
it's so
see,
good.
rule number 1 is that if the game stalls, you throw ninjas at them, and that'll give them something to do
It's
while
true.
you think of something to come next.
You know.
Someone should run a Spirit of the Century game.
Anyways,
Give me a time hole where Francis has enough time to run one so that I can just, like,
It's
have the
true.
perfect game. Just have the best. It would be the
Yeah,
best.
she would. God
Anyways.
damn, she would be so
Mwah.
good to run.
It would
that was
be
really fun. I don't want to keep Morgan any longer. I
yeah,
think we're
yeah.
all done the pro session stuff. Yeah, we'll continue this next week. Hopefully by then you'll have cleared UCOP so we can set at 11.
Dude, we're so close.
Yeah, you guys are very close, like 30% of rage.
We got 33% on the first time we got to Golden.
Yeah,
That's
just gotta
pretty
get
good.
up to
I mean,
there
that's how
again
it
without
is.
any deaths. It'll be fine.
Yeah, did you have deaths during Golden? Because that's why.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Hope you had fun. More of a roleplay session, but they happened. Got to really delve into people's backstories.
I mean, no, that was perfect. That was great.
It was so exciting.
Oh man, I'm gonna level up next time. This is gonna be so good.
I'm gonna try to get a level so that
Oh,
I
by
can
the
have
way,
another spell.
Didn't you just level?
Yeah, but I'm like
Oh.
over halfway to my next level.
Wow, you get so much experience. You fuck up so much.
Yeah.
Taliesin, just want you to know that that your ability is unlocked now.
Oh yeah.
You can do it
know
whenever.
that.
So you can
I need
let
to-
me know through Discord what you think of it. Okay, I want to work with you on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, bye guys.
Later.
Good night.
Night, y'all.